Hello and welcome to Red Cup Conversations. I'm your host, Kris Poliquin, and this is a production of Red Apples Media. If you're watching us on television, you're doing so on Lake Sumter TV, Comcast Channel 13, Bright House 498, and CenturyLink Prism Channel 83. So today I have invited James Floyd, the general manager of WQBQ, which is a local radio station here in Leesburg, correct?
Absolutely.
And also known as The Q. So let's get into it. Welcome, and thank you for coming on to this show.
Thank you for inviting
me. I know
me.
you don't get to do this that often, talk in front of mics and stuff. It's
every day.
Kind of a rarity. So
Yes,
tell our
thank you.
audience a little bit about you and what you do now.
Well, thank you for having me here. I have been in the area since the early to mid 70s. Went to Eustis Middle School, graduated Eustis High School in 1983. Yes, I'm giving you my age. And
all right.
Always have been in customer service. I believe that every teenager in high school should find a job in customer service, because when you work in
Even the
customer
ones
service,
now?
Absolutely, the ones that don't want to work, they just want to play video games.
Yeah.
Customer service, it does something to you. I learned a trick way back in right out of high school, during high school, working for Winn-Dixie, that anybody can put a cup on or two cans on the shelf, but the guy that turns them straight is the guy that shows I care. And everything in my life, I try to show I care. And it was just a little nugget that I gained, and I've taken it with me through my life. Back in the 80s, I worked for Pat Sales in Leesburg, and I used to be the guy who would take the telephone call from the local radio station. And today I would be in the cabinet department. Tomorrow I'd be in the carpet department.
Right.
The next day I'd be in the doors and the windows. The next day I'd be in plumbing. And it was always neat to take that phone call, and I often thought, it'd be kind of cool to be in radio, but never dreamed that one day it would happen.
Right.
Worked for a local radio station for about 3.5 years, and I had an opportunity to rebirth a radio station. Kind of a tough decision to walk away from a really nice commission check and start from nothing.
Oh, I bet.
But we did that a little over 4 years ago, and WQBQ just came to life. The whole goal is local radio, local business. One of my mottos is building relationships one person and one business at a time. You remember when we were a little younger, we used to play the Pac-Man game?
Oh, of course.
Pac-Man, you would always get one bubble at a time.
Yeah.
So my philosophy is building relationships one person and one business at a time.
Well, where's the power pod? The ones in the corner?
No, this is personal reputation, personal relationships.
Yeah. No, why, besides obvious reasons, why local? Because it seems like many businesses are looking out past that, and because it's more profitable.
Could be.
Could be, I guess, is a better way to put it. But when those scenarios take place, the local businesses can lose out, can't they?
That's true. One of the things that I preach on the radio, if you will, is buy local, shop local, be local, support your local hometown businesses. Have you ever seen an Amazon baseball team?
No, I have not.
There you have it. Our local businesses are the ones who support local hometown ball teams. You can go to a box store and buy vitamins. There's nobody there to ask which one is the best. What's this red color dye, or what's this blue dye, or what's these sugars in my vitamins? But if you go to a local health food store, like Jeff's Health and Nutrition, you got somebody there that can answer those questions. Well, this one's better, and this is why this one's better. So local business. Internet's trying to take away all of the local mom and pops. I don't know if you noticed, every small independent convenience store, there's a box going up right next door to it.
Oh, yeah.
And the heartbeat of what I do, and part of the reason I did is I used to own the indoor putt-putt and laser tag. Mm-hmm. And I struggled to pay the bills and to find a way to advertise anywhere. You could run a small business in the ground with advertising.
Oh, sure.
And so being on that side of the fence, when I got into radio, my heart's desire was that every small mom and pop could afford to be on local radio, somebody that really cares for them. Right. I mean, there's bigger radio stations in town. They may cover the whole state. But here's a question I like to ask. Do they really care about your small mom and pop business?
No,
or are you
not.
just a check that comes through and a number?
Right.
With WQBQ, the Q. what we do is we make it very affordable for anybody to be able to be on the radio. And that seems to be the heartbeat of what the community loves.
Okay. So you brought up a couple of topics I want to dive into a little bit. But before we do that, talk to us about the Q itself. What kind of format is it? Or what can if our audience don't already listen, what can they expect at the Q?
Well, on the Q, the music bed that we play through the week, Monday through Friday, is easy listening, love songs, that kind of thing. That can go from some country, it can go into some pop, it can go into just instrumental music.
Okay.
That was the core. We found that on the weekends, people really like Southern gospel music.
Really?
Don't know if you're aware of this, but nobody around Central Florida plays the original Southern gospel music. They play contemporary gospel, but not the old Southern hymns. We do. We start Saturday at noon, and that's all we play until Monday morning at 6 a.m.
Is that right?
Absolutely. And we have people that pay to sponsor that so that we can make that happen.
Oh, that's awesome. That's fantastic.
Weekdays, 8 o'clock every morning, we do what we call the auction block radio show.
Okay.
We spell it with a Q because we are
you're the Q.
You know what my favorite letter is, right?
W.
The Q. No, not W, the Q.
Of course.
Yeah. So at 8 o'clock every morning, we do an auction show. Local mom and pop businesses, they donate gift certificates to the radio. We donate airtime and talk about them. It's a trade. And then the listener gets to call in and the highest bidder. Instead of going to the auction, raising your hand, you got to call me live on the air.
Right.
All right. Now, so I got a $20 gift certificate to Jeff's Health and Nutrition. Let's say you bid $11 and you're the highest bidder. You got it for $11. So now you got a discount and a reason to walk into Jeff's Health and Nutrition.
Right.
So we talk about the local businesses. That's the name, the address, the phone number, a little bit about what they do. Mm-hmm. Here's the value. You, the local listener, call in and bid. And at the end of the hour, somebody wins gift certificates. Then they come to the radio station, which is where we build our relationship with the listener, as well as we've already built with the businesses.
Right.
So it's a win-win-win all the way around.
See, it's pretty savvy.
Yeah.
Pretty savvy. And again, it gets you involved with the local community.
Absolutely.
Reiterating, but the local businesses and the people, almost bridging gaps, and everybody. It's a win-win-win.
Yeah. Monday through Friday between 9 and 11, we do what's called the Buy, Sell, Squawk, and Talk Show. You want to get on your soapbox and squawk about something, as long as you keep it clean, that's the spot.
About anything.
You got a boat for sale. You want to rent a house. You want to buy a car. Maybe you got a house for sale. You can call in for free. How do we do that? We have local mom and pop businesses that pay one set fee. They get 2 radio spots a day, 4 days a week, or 5 days, whichever they prefer. And they get a live phone call 1 day a week, and we can talk about their business. And so the local businesses pay so that you, the listening audience, and the local community can call in for free.
That's pretty cool. I have to admit.
Then
I would imagine that's pretty popular.
It is very popular. I have a huge following. Been now about almost 8 years in radio here in the local Lake County. And so we have a huge following. And weekdays between 12 and 2, we do what we call block programming. So like Jeff's Health and Nutrition is in. We have Blackston Financial Group that's in. They do their own 1-hour radio show.
Is that right?
And then I have an afternoon DJ from 2 o'clock until 6 who takes requests. You can call in and ask him questions. Hey, somebody called in today and I missed it. Can you give me a number off of we have notebooks full of phone numbers. Something that's really cool is we started a little over 2 years ago. It's called Meet, Greet, and Eat.
Okay.
One night a month, I tell everybody, meet me at so-and-so restaurant, one of our local businesses.
True.
And we take 50 people to 125 people. And we show up and we each pay our own bill. But it's an avenue for our businesses to meet our listeners to meet our businesses, and I just love to mingle with everybody.
Now that sounds very interesting.
We call it monthly meet, greet, and eat.
That's awesome. Now, so I expect there's probably grievances, but more or less it's probably inquisition, right? Or like people are inquiring, hey, listen, I like your product, but, or again, the nutrition.
Or I heard you on the radio the other day and you had a boat for sale. Do you still
And
have that?
oh,
it was
right.
nice to meet you.
Right.
Or this is the owner of this business or that business. And when we have the room to ourselves, I love to introduce the business owners that are there. Because now everybody gets to put a face to what they hear on the radio.
Right. Well, James, we need to take a quick break, but when we come back, I'd like to continue our conversation and maybe look down the road for the Q and how its impact on our local community.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Thank you.
We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back to Red Cup Conversations. Again, I'm your host, Kris Poliquin, and this is a production of Red Apples Media. Before the break, we were talking with James Floyd, the general manager of The Q here in Leesburg, Florida. James, where do you see The Q going in the future, down the road? I was on your website, and I noticed that you're starting to do streaming, so you're not just limiting yourself to, the radio.
Correct. We in the last couple of weeks, we started doing Facebook Live for our auction shows, just as a test to see how that would grab some people.
Mm-hmm.
I've done several on my personal page. The goal is to get more people to my business page, so that we can do it strictly on the business page, and then our business will pop up in people's news feeds. But AM radio has been, when I was a child, AM radio was the all it cared about was the local community around it. As a child, we had a local supermarket. We had a local gas station. I remember my dad had a charge account, and every week when he'd get paid, he would go pay the charge account. But it was a local barber. There was local everything.
Yeah.
And that's what radio really. So what I've tried to do is take the Q back a few years, if you will, to support local business in a local community. Where's radio going? Well, we have a permit to turn on an FM translator. Working on getting that together. With the internet, things are amazing. As a matter of fact, if you live beyond Altoona, if you live beyond Inverness over that way, or if you live beyond, up into the Ocala area, AM radio really don't reach super far. So
right, it's a localized,
and so one of the things we did was we implemented streaming. Everything that goes over our airwaves, we stream. And you can go to our website at WQBQ1410.com. Really nice website that we have there. There's a drop-down arrow, or if you're on a PC, a computer, there's a thing that says listen. You click that and click play. If you're on a cell phone, there's a set of lines. You just touch it and it drops. Click listen and play. And what it does is it takes AM radio and makes it stereo quality. Matter of fact, when I go to Kentucky once a year, my home state.
Sorry about that.
I'm not sorry. I go Gators, but I'm just saying, when I go home once a year, we always listen to my radio station all the way to Kentucky.
Really?
I Bluetooth it to my truck, and we listen to my radio station all the way. So you can listen on the internet anywhere in the world. One of my favorites beyond my website is Simple Radio. It's a free download on any tablet or computer or cell phone.
Okay.
You just type in WQBQ and click play. Instantly, you're connected. We're on TuneIn Radio app. We're on, you can tell Alexa, Lexus, what's her name? Alexa.
Mm-hmm.
Say, Alexa, play WQBQ, and she'll turn on our radio station. So you can stream it in stereo from anywhere in the world.
Cool.
So, I think in the future, who knows where AM radio will be, but I know we're going to continue doing what we're doing and just knocking on the doors of all the local mom and pop businesses and trying to get them involved in radio.
And I think using that avenue, you're actually I think you have the ability to stay local and spread your wings out.
Absolutely.
Globally. And that's a weird kind of concept, because the chances of someone in Alaska listening to you, slim to none, because they've got their own local. But the fact that you're out that far,
it's amazing.
It really is. It's a whole new world out there.
Yeah. When I say to you, the look on your face when I said to you, I drive to Kentucky and listen to my AM radio station all the way there, you were like, really? The look on your face. But when you think of it,
yeah,
we've come so far with technology. One thing that I do is I'll go to the outer edges of my reach and work my way in. For instance, go down to the Orlando Eye. If you're there before they turn the power on, you can hear my station barely.
Really?
Yeah, but when they turn on the power to that eye, it really throws a kink in it. So
Sure.
being invited down there to do a tenants meeting, I met with all the businesses there and told them, why would you want to advertise on a little AM radio station in Leesburg? Here's why. If you want people from Lake County, Sumter County, and Marion County to come to Orange County, I'm your guy. And so it reaches there. But if you have a business on my outer edges of my perimeter, it would benefit you
Sure.
to be a part of what we do.
Yeah, and to me, that just makes sense.
Sure.
But again, there's, the way technology is advancing everything we do. I mean, your cell phone is more important now than practically what your wallet was 20 years ago.
Absolutely.
Right? I mean, you pay all your bills, everything. You're able to listen to local, global, whatever kind of news. We're carrying computers in our back pocket.
Absolutely.
Everything is going
Technology.
bigger and grander.
Absolutely.
The technology is changing.
Saturday mornings, we do local sports and sports that locals love. The award-winning Lake County Sports Show has been with me for a couple of years.
Right.
This Saturday, tomorrow, will be 11 years that
Wow.
Billy Matthews has been doing sports.
Really?
He knows kids that went to school here in Lake County, that went to college, and have made it into pro. And he stays in touch. He stays in tune with all the coaches. And it's as a matter of fact, we do live radio remotes all over the place. Matter of fact, tomorrow morning, we'll be in front of Bloom's Bacon House and Restaurant.
Really?
Doing a live radio remote for the Lake County Sports Show. And that's the show we take on the road. We'll be here and we'll be there.
You've got spots. I mean,
Absolutely. If you want your business noticed, local radio is a wonderful place to start. And I'm just thrilled to be where we are.
And I think you've done a fantastic job. I mean, just judging, because we spoke off air as well.
Sure.
And I like the direction that you're going. Again, people ask, well, does AM have a future?
You would be
But
surprised how
radio,
many people.
no, I'm talking about just a perception. People are like, newspapers.
Yeah.
People are like, well, what do we need? Really? Newspapers still?
You'll see that all the newspapers are thinning.
They are.
They really are.
Because
And
I think it's a
sad.
concern.
It's sad.
I
But
agree. But when you can get everything you need on
on your tablet,
on
on
your
a cell
tablet,
phone,
your
on
cell
your computer.
phone,
I mean,
it's
one of the
selective
things
news,
I love
you
to
know.
do at night is to go into my office while I'm doing paperwork. I just turn on the stream to my radio station.
right?
And I can listen. It's easy listening. It's good stuff.
And if someone wanted to get in touch with you,
Sure.
or get information about the Q, how can they do that again?
They can call the office at 315-1420. The on-air number is 315-1410. And then they can go to our website at WQBQ1410.com. Facebook, WQBQ 1410 AM Radio. Like our page. When you see us on there, I mean, we continue to, our meet and greet is this coming week. And it's on our Facebook page as to where we're going to be and how it, and everybody, BYOW, bring your own wallet. I ain't paying.
Bring your own wallet. I like that.
Bring your own appetite. Bring a friend or two. That's how we spread the business as to who we are and what we do. And
Sure. It's a phenomenal sounding networking function. No, I want to say function, but environment.
yeah, we love to do stuff for nonprofits. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you that we've got a couple of girls from Umatilla High School that we helped raise money for. One was 17, one is 18. Now they're both 18. But they both were going to St. Jude's in Tennessee because they both had cancer at 17 and 18 years old. Wow. We helped put on fundraisers. We helped raise money for them. That kind of stuff, that gets to the heart. We just gave away $1,500 for Christmas on the radio. You had to listen to the cue for your cue to call. You like that? The letter Q.
Did.
We used the letter Q
fancy.
pretty fancily.
Yeah.
And I had 3 automotive dealerships, the Bill Bryan stores, gave us $500 a piece.
Wow.
So what we did was we gave away 10 $100 gift cards. All $100. It wasn't none of this $4.95. We went to our local bank to do that. And we had a $200 winner and a $300 winner. And the day before I did the drawing, we were having people call in. When you hear the cue to call, be caller number 6, caller number 7. Mm-hmm. We would write down their name and all that, and we put them into a jar. The day before we did the drawing, I learned of a single mom with 2 girls that had nothing for Christmas. And so I simply said on the radio, if you're lucky enough to win one of these gift cards and you really don't need it, I met a family who could use it. So we took that $1,500 and it turned into $1,845. Believe it or not, 300 of it came back. 2 of the other winners came in and brought cash. And when I took the last 20 to the mom, she broke in tears and said, I didn't know how I was going to get home today. I don't have gas to get home to my girls.
What?
That's what local radio should be all about. That's the heartbeat of what we do. It's local people. Local.
That's amazing.
Local. So
That's amazing.
I love that. I several years ago, I saw Don Magruder from Romac Lumber give away $1,000 on the radio. One guy won the $1,000, and I thought, man, here's a philosophy. Let's help people at Christmas time. And so that's where it went to this year.
That's awesome.
Just an amazing opportunity to help local community people.
Yeah, it's amazing. Well, James, I wish we had more time, but we're just tapped.
I'm thrilled that you invited me in.
It's likely to happen again, unless I've steered you the wrong way for whatever reason.
No,
but thank
good.
you so much for taking the time of your day and coming.
Absolutely.
And sharing some information about the Q. And I hope me and more actually tune in, because what you're doing over there is
I would like for you
work.
to tune in. You've been to my website. You've been creeping up a little bit. Now it's time to dial in.
I'll be there.
All right.
Oh, it'll be on my computer.
That's fine.
But I'll be listening.
Anywhere in the world.
All right. Thanks again.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And that does it for us today here at Red Cup Conversation. I've been your host, Kris Poliquin. We'll see you next time.